Terra Luna Classic validators are a hot topic. We really haven't had new ones since the collapse. And with that being said, we're actually going to be running a Terra Luna Classic validator on the channel. We're going to be going over how you can gain power on the blockchain. And without further ado, this is the crypto noob over here, Pocket Hercules, IoT engineer, connoisseur in tech, but knows nothing about crypto. We're going to be going over it in layman's terms. Well, he knows something. He knows that things pump and they go up and down, right? That we went over that already. But without further ado, we're going to be going over validator nodes, how they give people back the power in Terra Luna Classic specifically, and how this is unique. And so going into directly what a validator is on Terra Luna Classic, by definition, they use this thing called the tender mint consensus. So it's a bit different from other consensus mechanisms in that validators run full nodes, so they have their full nodes, and they participate in the consensus protocol by broadcasting votes. So every block is separated into votes on the blockchain, if you didn't know that, right? So each proposal that comes on Terra Station is a block, and it is something that people can participate in. And validators are able to cast votes on behalf of their delegators, right? A validator's voting power is weighted according to their total stake. So if you didn't know, they're staking on Terra Luna Classic. That means you can lock up your tokens, and by locking up your tokens, you get APR, which is annual percentage, right? You get a percentage of all commission in this little thing called proof of work. Now, what that is,
they release rewards either bi-weekly in some cases, monthly, or however
it's literally like every block you get something, right? It's just trickle. Yeah, it trickles. APR is just your annual rate, right? So if you get 20% APR,
it's the rate of growth annualized. I understand.
Yes,
I understand.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Yeah. I did take economics classes. All right, come on, bro.
That's cool. I'm putting it in layman's terms. Anyway, so essentially the way it works is that by going ahead and staking, you're giving the validators a ton of tokens. And with all these tokens, they get this power. And the way that you get money back is because more and more people are staking, they get a bigger and bigger chunk of that block, and by having a bigger and bigger chunk of that block, they get this little reward in Luna Classic and USDC and all these other tokens in Luna.
Right.
And then you get a kick out of it, and that's called commission. Yeah, you get
and that commission is proportionate to how much you have like staked in the thing, right? Just normal.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Proportional.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if I have commission,
$100 million,
yes, you get a ton of money.
You make more than the guy who put in $1,000.
And the coolest part about that is you're not only staking, but you're giving power to someone. So, for example, if you staked with Classy Crypto, then Classy Crypto and his entire YouTube audience would essentially gain power in a $1.6 billion blockchain, which is insane. And
that's insane.
And that means, like, for the first time ever, people as a decentralized community can choose their leaders. And by the way, you can easily redelegate. I mean, that's just a click of a button, give someone else the power. And by doing that, we as the community, as the entity, have the power to push whatever proposals we want. And that's insane. I mean, like
that's first time in any monetary system. That's huge. That's the first time that's ever happened.
Like true democracy.
I mean, every single currency since the beginning of time has been handled by the aristocrats or the freaking the bankers, the big guys, the Roman generals, you know, all the fucking big guys. But now it's like the people who actually use your freaking money are the ones that actually get to vote on it. Like what happens? Like what is fiscal policy going to look like? That's pretty big. That's power.
Even bigger than that.
Power right there.
Even bigger than that, there are no lockup terms. It's kind of like if you get your president, you have to stick with him for 4 years. You don't have to do that here. You could tomorrow just run away. Yeah.
Like, hey, Classy, I didn't like your freaking decision. I thought it was dumb, so I'm gonna give my money to this guy.
Exactly.
And that's how that works.
Exactly.
That's big.
And that's how it should be.
And are there any fees or any drawbacks to, like, let's say I staked with you, right? But usually the way somebody like me who understand staking is that I promise you those tokens for a set period of time. So what happens if I want to remove my tokens before that set period of time has allotted, or is there no set period of time? Is it just staked and then I can remove it tomorrow or in the next second, like right after? So what is the catch?
There's always a catch. So in order to redelegate, first off, you stake your tokens, you go through this little transaction fee. It's barely anything. Terra Luna Classic is very cheap on that regard. The way it works is once you're actually staked on a validator, you have two options. So you can redelegate or undelegate. If you redelegate, you just go to someone else. That's perfectly fine. You can only do that once every 21 days. And if you want to undelegate, which is unstaking, right? Staking it out, you got to wait 21 days. And in that 21 days, you get nothing. You don't get anything in rewards.
Okay. That's the
catch.
So there's definitely a catch. So
21 days.
Okay, and that kind of makes sense. You know, like you can't just have people fucking just you know, moving all that around like that. Okay, that
And
makes
it
sense.
removes tokens out of the circulating supply as well. So it makes it that much
Right.
easier to pump Luna Classic.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's all great. That sounds fucking amazing. And what other systems are going to be adopting this type of methodology? Like, is it just Luna now, or is it like Ethereum, Polygon, Bitcoin? Are all these other systems going to implement something like this? Because a lot of people talk about Bitcoin becoming like the next freaking currency, right? Some people talk like
Yeah.
the digital gold as a hedge. But you know, if we're going to move into crypto becoming something that everyone's going to have to use, I mean, what other systems are implementing this function?
None. This is a unique protocol. Tendermint is something that nobody else is using at the moment. Ethereum is
Okay.
using proof of stake. They have their own little foundation. It's a centralized entity. So crypto
Okay.
in general is a lot more centralized than people make it out to be. Terra Luna
Right.
Classic is the exact opposite, right? We
And
have
pretty transparent, too.
Terra Rebels has zero power. I mean, technically they have power and exposure, right? They can convince people to do things, I guess, in that sense.
They also have money.
They have money, right? But at
those
the end
are
of the
money.
day, if the people don't feel like helping them, they're screwed. Versus something
Right.
like Ethereum, where they can just keep pushing out whatever they want. Cardano can keep pushing out whatever they want. Solana can keep pushing out whatever they want. So there are a lot of blockchains out there that are a lot more centralized than non. Terra Luna Classic kind of being the combatter of the latter. We came out of a centralized entity. We had the Terra Luna Foundation kind of leading the charge. They left.
Right.
And now it's just community. That's it. So this is a very unique situation in the crypto space, which I think is cool, and I would love to continue to explore more.
I mean, always within a system like this where innovation is what drives things forward, like new systems like that being implemented and tried by all these systems is always going to be a good thing for us to, at the end of the day, the consumer, you know, because now I see that, okay, here's a system that will take my voice into account. You know, even if it's a small portion, it's not that I'm putting my money into a tyrant's pocket. It's something that I have a vote for, and you know that's an extraordinarily democratic principle. So you know, of course I'm going to be for it.
and there are fundamental flaws to democracy, which is why we have no true democracies. So obviously that is something we have to focus on. The
Right.
community having all power is a problem in and of itself. People have a lot of conflicting opinions, but being able to give that power to someone, being able to, as a community, experiment in a crypto space, which is supposed to be decentralized, right? The entirety of crypto is the decentralization of finance.
Right.
And giving the power to the masses. You're going to have tyrants sprinkled in, but because
Of course.
you know, we're people, we can go ahead and choose who we want to delegate. And so that's one of the
Right.
big reasons I'm actually moving forward with the validator. This man over here is going to be a part of it. And so
Yep.
would you have any closing thoughts on Terra Luna Classic? Tell them
No,
about
and
it.
I'm excited, bro. Look, when I first found out about Luna, it was when the crash happened. Like that's when I'm sure a lot of people first heard about this project,
Yeah.
and everybody was talking about it dying. And then now we're seeing a new innovative tech being implemented into the system. You know, and now we're seeing this huge pump we just saw last week. Like.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Like as somebody just viewing it, like you can't deny that. Hey, the lunatics are out there. You know what I mean?
They are.
really are. They really are. You know, that's crazy. But yeah, that's all I have to say, man. Like and subscribe, guys. Lunatics, go out there. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Do you agree? Do you disagree with me? Do you think I ask good questions? Do I think I have bad questions? Am I dumb? Leave it all down there. Like, subscribe. Don't dislike. That button doesn't exist anymore, right? Good. Share the link. Check the Twitter out. Put it out there. All right. And we out here, man. Let's get that thing going. Let's pump it.
All right. See you boys later. Ridiculous.